Coming out tonight, and I want to thank my friend Evan back there. If y'all ever wanted to have a direct contact with your Congressman Tom Perriello, I encourage you to turn around, wave to Evan's camera and say, "Hey Tom, see you in November." My McPadden, I'm running for Congress. I grew up here in Virginia. I went to Virginia Tech. I got a degree in electrical engineering and mathematics. I joined the Navy. I flew as a P-3 pilot in the Navy. I got out after 6 years of active duty. I got my dream job as a commercial airline pilot. I've been a captain with Northwest and now Delta Airlines since 1997. I love my job. I love where I live in North Morton. I'm stepping forward because I really believe 2010 is a special year. We've got to get this one right, folks. We've got to get it right. It's not enough for me to send an R. If we were going to send an R, I think I could have stayed home. We've got to send the right R. Somebody that knows what to do, somebody with leadership experience that can go to Washington and sit down and make sure that the Constitution is being followed and that the liberties are no longer being taken away from the people but given back to the people. That's why I'm going to Washington. I need your support. I'm looking forward to vote for me on June 8th. Mike McPadden. Thank you.
Robert Hurt. I live in Chatham. I am a member of the state senate. Been a citizen legislator now for the last 9 years, and I'm proud to be here with you all. I'm thankful to you all for the energy and the life that you have put into this effort to get rid of Tom Perriello on November 2nd, 2010. I believe that of all the candidates, we have 7 fine candidates, let's be clear. But of all the 7 candidates, I believe that I'm the strongest candidate to beat Tom Perriello in November. Let me tell you why. Number one, I know the 5th District. I grew up in the 5th District. You look at my long, conservative, proven record in the state senate, in the House of Delegates, you'll find somebody who has voted again and again against tax increases, voted for fiscal responsibility. I've got a lifetime rating of A with the NRA. I've got a lifetime rating of 100% of the Virginia Society of Human Life, 95% lifetime rating with the Family Foundation. NFIB, Farm Bureau Ag Pack, always endorsed my past campaigns. That's important, and that's a proven record. Let's be clear. In the last 10 years, I've run 5 elections, and every time been running for a very conservative part of the Commonwealth, a very conservative part of the Commonwealth. I have always won. I've beat Democrats, I've beat independents, and I've always won with at least 60% of the vote. And that's because the people know me, they trust me, and they don't have to worry about how I'm going to vote when I go to Richmond. They don't have to worry about how I'm going to vote when I go to Washington. This election is the most important of our lifetime. Thank you for your commitment to changing this country, and I'd be proud to have your vote June 8th.
I agree with Mike here and tell you that, like he did, this is a very important election that's coming up, and you need to decide on who is the best person to represent you in Congress. Somebody with a record that you can rely on, that you can look at and see what they've done in the past. Somebody who has been tested, somebody who has been through tough elections. My name is Ken Boyd, and I'm particularly enthused to be here on my home territory tonight, because not only this is Albemarle County where I'm on the Board of Supervisors, but this is actually in my district. This is the Rivanna district here, and it's one of the businesses that we're really happy with that here. I've been on the Board of Supervisors for the last almost 7 years now. Started out at 6, now at 7 in this campaign. I've been on the school board for 4 years prior to that. And ladies and gentlemen, you all need to realize that you need to decide on who is going to be the best candidate to beat Tom Perriello in November, because that's what this really is about. And you have to look at the records of these people here. And remember, we sent Tom Perriello, untested and an unknown, to Washington already. We sent Obama to Washington, another untested and unknown, and look what we got. Now it's time for you all, if you're looking for the right candidate, I'm going to suggest that you look at the people who have a resume here, and you look at the people who've got a record. We're not, my record is an open book, and I'm glad, I hope you will look at it. You know that I fought the liberals on the Board of Supervisors here for years and years and years, where I was 5-1, so many 5-1 votes, I can't count them all. But I was able to stand up this year. We reduced your tax bill. Anybody here who lives in Albemarle County got their tax bill? It was a great pleasure to me just to look at our 2 liberal members of the Board of Supervisors' face and watch them as we held the line on that tax rate, because they were trying to raise it. They wanted to raise it. We had to vote, you have to stop it. We also have stood up for your property rights. A lot of people here belong to Forever Albemarle. Remember the work that we did there. There's a number of things like that. You can look at my record, see my conservative. You know the type of person I'd be, and I thank you for sending me to Washington.
I live over in Feda County, and I've been over here to Albemarle a number of times working with the unit chairs here at Albemarle. I was a unit chair in Feda for 10 years and helped build a strong organization over there to do the exact same thing that we're doing this year. Fight the liberals and put good, strong conservatives up in Washington. And that's why I'm the best candidate for this race. I have spent 20 years working in the trenches, fighting against liberals year in and year out. I served as a unit chair for 10 years. I was elected from the 5th District Committee to serve at the state central level for 4 years. And during my off time, when I was home homeschooling for 9 years and teaching at a private Christian school, I served 9 years on the local school board and was elected twice to that position. So I have background experience working in the trenches with people, working with real issues, being a good constituent service person, and as a homeschooler, I was elected to a private school, a public school board. That's because I listen to people. I look in their eyes, I listen to what they have to say, and I take that back and get answers for them. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, it's what's in your heart, what you feel about the people of the 5th District. I have 5 children. My daughter's married. I have 2 grandchildren. She lives in Louisa. I have 3 sons up at Virginia Tech right now on Army ROTC scholarship after they're home. Tim just graduated from the Corps of Cadets. He will graduate in December. He will be commissioned to serve in the Army. The other 2 boys will follow. So I love my guys. I love the military. And thank you, veterans that are in here, for serving our country. I will stand behind you. My youngest son, Joseph, is at Fort Union Military Academy. My message is life, liberty, and opportunity. I stand firm on pro-life issues from conception to natural death, defending our Constitution and opportunities for Americans here in our country to have freedom from an oppressive government to live the prosperous lives that our founders meant for us to have by original intent of our Constitution. Thank you.
I'm from here in Albemarle County. I'm married and I have 4 children, and I know most of you from various events around in the last year, 9/12, and a lot of other Tea Party events. And I do want to specifically, in the eve of Memorial Day, thank our veterans with whom, without their work, we couldn't be standing here and having free discourse about politics. So let's give a hand to them. Mike McPadden. My paternal grandparents immigrated here, and my mom grew up in shelters. She didn't have a father. It was a very tough background, but what they taught me is hard work and American exceptionalism. And I've always believed that in this country, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you have the freedom to do that. Well, right now, our freedom is getting encroached on by big government. I have not been an elected official. I have not been a politician. I have been spending years in the private sector, working for major corporations, building businesses, developing businesses. I run a business that I built myself. It is a $75 million business. And I know what it is like to invest my money and put it on the line and have to fight the government and taxation and regulations. I have done the important things that I want the people in Washington, D.C. to do, and they're not. That's why they have a 14% approval rating. What is that? Well, I've created jobs. Politicians don't create jobs, the private sector does. So let's turn money back to the private sector to create jobs. I balance budgets. I provided health care for people, and I have learned the most important lesson. You don't spend more than you make. I want to bring all of these things to Washington, D.C. as a citizen legislator. I have signed a pledge, a contract of term limits,